chosen one. Your existence shattered cosmic expectations the moment those lights flickered, only above you in that corner store. An unmistakable universal marking. That black sedan with tinted windows tracking your movements for 3 consecutive days wasn't a coincidence, but targeted recognition. After years of searching for your unique energy signature, the watching began long before your awareness caught up. Government systems tracking, spiritual realms observing, former connections suddenly remembering, because what sleeps within you has emitted signals since birth, broadcasting across multiple planes like a quantum anomaly, disrupting predictive algorithms, like a forbidden frequency that shouldn't exist in this timeline, but somehow does through you. 3 days of awareness became unbearable when your phone lit up with messages from numbers that shouldn't exist. Codes that disappeared seconds after viewing. Coordinates that matched locations from your dreams. Messages that burned themselves from digital existence after delivering their payload to your consciousness. The security consultant materialized wherever you turned at work. By the coffee machine, asking about your childhood. In the parking garage, curious about your family lineage. Near the restrooms, probing about your unexplainable talents. Their badge looked official, government credentials few would question. Yet when you searched their name later, all records vanished, not redacted, not classified, completely erased from existence. Then came the call that confirmed everything. Your ex. Years of silence shattered by urgent connection. Their voice trembled with recognition when they asked about strange things happening to you. They knew. Someone got to them. Someone showed them evidence. Someone threatened them into becoming part of the surveillance network, closing around you. The line went dead before you could respond. Then darkness engulfed your apartment, only yours, while lights blazed in every other window of your building. Targeted electrical manipulation, technology responding to commands beyond conventional systems. They escalated from observation to interaction. What God placed within you was beginning to disrupt systems around you. Your rising frequency interfered with electrical grids. Your expanding consciousness created dead zones in surveillance networks. Your awakening essence triggered recognition protocols in those assigned to find you. They didn't need your cooperation, they only needed confirmation. With that power outage, they got it. With your ex's call, they triangulated your position in the spiritual matrix. With the consultant's assessment, they classified your potential, threat level. The contact phase completed its objective. You now know they know. The book arrived with pages you never ordered. The note inside spoke directly to knowledge you never shared. Thursday, Cafe Obscura, 3:17 p.m. Come alone. We know what they want from you. Divine timing, divine location, divine connection. Against every logical warning screaming through your mind, you went. The person waiting embodied perfect camouflage, unremarkable features, average height, clothing no one would remember. Their entire existence designed to avoid the surveillance systems hunting people like you. They've been monitoring your energy signature since you were born, they revealed, sliding a file across the table. Inside, confirmation of your cosmic significance, government documents with your name, partially redacted but clearly about monitoring your development. Brain scans from procedures you have no memory of undergoing. Surveillance photos dating back decades, long before you knew yourself. You're not the only one, they explained. There are others carrying what you carry, different manifestations of the same divine essence, different expressions of the same cosmic power. The government wants to understand it, control it, weaponize it. The spiritual realm wants to channel it, direct it, sometimes steal it. former connections want to exploit it, share it, occasionally protect it. What flows through your veins, what pulses in your energy field, what radiates from your consciousness, it breaks their models. It contradicts their science. It challenges their understanding of human capability. It threatens power structures built on the assumption that beings like you don't exist. That's why every eye turned toward you the moment you began to awaken. That's why they increased surveillance when your frequency started rising. That's why they'll do anything to acquire what God placed within you. The underground network didn't form for protection alone. It formed to preserve the divine potential until the right cosmic moment, this moment, when chosen ones like you would need to fully activate, when the world would need what only you can manifest. The government raid on your apartment catalyzed everything. As they broke down your door, something ancient broke open within you. Time itself responded to your changing frequency. The air around your hands distorted physical reality, rippling like heat waves off summer asphalt. The agents froze mid-step, not from choice, from inability to move against your awakening power. Their expressions transformed from tactical determination to primal fear as objects around your living room defied gravity, books, furniture, electronics, all responding to the electromagnetic field suddenly pulsing from your core. You hadn't trained for this. You didn't consciously activate it. You weren't even sure what it was. Yet in that moment of existential threat, the divine encryption within your cellular structure began emergency activation protocols. Your underground contact pulled you through the fire escape, their eyes witnessing what the government had only theorized about in classified documents. "This is why they want you," they breathed. "What you just did, it's the reason for everything." The surveillance, the contact from your ex, the spiritual practitioners dreaming about your energy signature across the continent. What burst forth from you in that moment of crisis broke fundamental laws that govern physical reality. You didn't just move objects without touching them. You temporarily suspended the observer's ability to interact with your timeline. You didn't just defend yourself. You momentarily existed in a parallel dimension while still visible in this one. The government doesn't fear psychic abilities. They've studied those for decades. They don't fear intuitive capabilities. They've catalogued those extensively. What terrifies power structures is transcendent consciousness, awareness that operates beyond the constraints they use to control populations. What God placed within you isn't just power. It's proof that everything they've built their control systems upon is fundamentally flawed. Your existence contradicts their most basic assumptions about reality itself. The sanctuary concealed itself in plain sight, an abandoned warehouse externally, a thriving community internally. Others like you gathered there, each carrying different expressions of the same divine potential. Some manipulated energy fields, others accessed information across time barriers, some healed with touch, others communicated with consciousness beyond physical form. For weeks you trained with them, learning to stabilize your frequency, understanding how to direct rather than simply release your capabilities, discovering the true nature of what God encoded in your being, until your ex appeared outside the sanctuary walls, standing in pouring rain, begging for contact. Despite every warning from your new community, despite everything you'd learned about security protocols, you agreed to meet. Their familiar presence triggered emotional memories that overrode your logical caution. Their eyes held genuine fear when they spoke, and something darker beneath it. They've threatened everyone you've ever known, they confessed, body trembling, with either terror or guilt. They'll eliminate anyone who ever meant something to you. They'll erase entire family lines to access what you carry. The confession emerged between broken sobs, a deal made under duress, protection promised in exchange for information, their betrayal orchestrated through exploitation of their remaining feelings for you. As they spoke, vehicles surrounded the building from all access points. Tactical teams moved into position. You'd led them straight to the sanctuary, straight to everyone who had helped you, straight to the only people who truly understood what was awakening within you. Some betrayals come from hatred, others from greed. The most devastating come from love corrupted by fear. Your ex didn't betray you because they wanted to. They betrayed you because someone showed them consequences too horrific to resist. Alert! Alert! The Astral Atom Network is under attack. I'm not sure how much longer we can keep sending these transmissions. The platforms are always trying to shut us down, and we need you. I show up daily giving 110% because you chose me to be your champion. I left a cushy day job to go to war with evil, and it's always down to the wire. God keeps me humble. That's why you need to join the Obsidian Inner Order now. It's $11 a month. You get exclusive transmissions, weekly group calls, and access to the hottest Chosen One community on the planet, daily conversations on Discord about disappearing clouds with your mind. Insane. If you're already in, you're right where you need to be. If money's tight, no shame. Grab the free Astral Atom newsletter so we don't lose touch. Share this message now. This is Astral Atom. Let's continue. The sanctuary leader gave clear evacuation orders. 5 minutes for everyone to disappear through underground tunnels. Everyone except you. You're what they want, they stated without emotion. The rest are just collateral, acceptable losses in their pursuit of what you carry. The choice materialized with crystal clarity. Surrender yourself to protect the others who shared your cosmic signature, or run, knowing the full might of government resources would hunt down everyone who sheltered you. As agents breached the perimeter, preparing for extraction, something shifted within your energetic structure. The final barrier dissolved, not broken by outside force, but released by your own conscious choice. Power flooded every cell in your body, different from the chaotic burst during the apartment raid. This power flowed with intention, with direction, with purpose beyond reaction. The difference between a lightning strike and a power plant, both, contain enormous energy, but only one channels it with precision. You weren't just a battery they could drain once captured. You weren't just an anomaly they could study under laboratory conditions. You were a conduit for something that existed before their organizations formed, before their nations established borders, before their ancestors developed language to describe reality. Walking toward the government agents, hands raised in apparent surrender, you made your decision. The air around you began to shimmer with possibilities unrestricted by conventional physics. This wasn't the end of your story. This wasn't your defeat. This was the true beginning. The moment you stopped running from what made you different. The moment you embraced what terrified them most. The moment you became what God designed you to be from the beginning of time itself. The government's interest in you operates through systematic, multi-dimensional tracking protocols specifically designed for beings with your energy signature. They've developed technologies beyond public knowledge, quantum sensors that detect consciousness anomalies, thermal imaging satellites that identify unique energy emissions, AI algorithms that recognize decision patterns that defy statistical probability. Their surveillance isn't standard procedure. They created entirely new systems just to track individuals carrying what you carry. When unusual heat signatures emanate from your physical form during emotional intensity, their satellite systems flag your location. When you make decisions that their predictive models cannot anticipate, Their algorithmic systems alert human analysts to investigate the anomaly. When you unconsciously affect electronic equipment around you, their electromagnetic monitoring stations triangulate your position. What truly terrifies these systems isn't your power itself. It's what your existence proves. Every capability you manifest demolishes another scientific impossibility. Every ability you demonstrate contradicts another established fact about human limitation. Your very existence threatens paradigms that maintain control structures. Their ultimate objective: reverse engineer what God placed within you, replicate it, control it, distribute it to those who would use it for domination rather than liberation. They don't want to destroy you. They want to become you without the divine connection that regulates your power. Beyond physical surveillance, entities from dimensions adjacent to this reality monitor your development with even greater intensity. They detect your presence not through technology, but through frequency recognition. Your soul's unique vibrational signature resonates with ancient prophetic patterns stored in cosmic memory. Some spiritual observers serve as guardians, assigned millennia ago to protect vessels of divine potential during their vulnerable activation phases. Their protection manifests as synchronistic interventions: the stranger who warns you away from danger, the sudden intuitive impulse that redirects your path, the dream that prepares you for coming challenges. Others function as cosmic record keepers, observing how your timeline intersects with critical junctures in collective consciousness evolution. They track activation points in your development that correlate with planetary awakening sequences, programmed into Earth's energetic grid. The most significant spiritual witnesses are messengers, attempting to transfer critical information through means your conscious mind can interpret. Symbolic dreams, synchronistic numbers, intuitive downloads that arrive fully formed in your awareness. These communications contain activation codes for dormant DNA sequences that unlock specific abilities required for your cosmic function. Most concerning are oppositional entities that recognize your potential impact on control systems that have dominated this reality for millennia. Their interference methods target your psychological and energetic vulnerabilities, creating doubt about your perceptions, manufacturing isolation from supportive connections, generating fear that lowers your vibrational state below activation thresholds. The unexplainable phenomena around you: objects moving without physical contact, electronics malfunctioning in your presence, sudden temperature fluctuations in enclosed spaces, lights brightening or dimming as your emotions intensify. These aren't random energetic discharges. They're attempts at communication from entities that perceive your full multidimensional signature. What humans can't see but spiritual entities clearly perceive. The complete spectrum of divine potential contained within your energetic structure. They witness activation occurring across multiple dimensions simultaneously. They observe how your consciousness affects quantum probability fields. They recognize the specific cosmic function encoded in your spiritual DNA. Their attention intensifies because the time approaches. Cosmic cycles align with your personal development trajectory. Planetary energetic shifts support the specific abilities you're manifesting. The universal timeline approaches junctures where your activated presence becomes crucial for collective evolution. When past intimate connections suddenly re-establish contact during your awakening phases, cosmic mechanics, not coincidence, drive these reunions. Intimate connections create energetic bonds that transcend physical separation, quantum entanglement at the consciousness level. These bonds never fully dissolve despite years of separation. They remain dormant until dramatic frequency changes in either party automatically reactivate the connection. Your awakening power sends energetic ripples backward through your timeline, affecting everyone who formed significant bonds with your field. As your frequency rises, these past connections experience unexplainable dreams about you, sudden memories emerging without apparent triggers, intuitive knowledge of your current state without logical explanation. Some return as unconscious agents of opposition, spiritually manipulated to disrupt your alignment through emotional triggering. These reconnections specifically target unhealed relationship wounds, activating doubts that lower your frequency below critical activation thresholds. The emotional chaos they generate creates energetic static that interferes with your ability to receive clear cosmic downloads. Others return as unwitting messengers, carrying critical information without understanding its significance. Something you need to know for your next development phase gets delivered through their words, often hidden within seemingly mundane conversations. A casual reference they make connects directly to activation codes you've recently received through dreams or meditation. Most significant are those whose return occurs because your activation triggers their dormant potential. Divine potential often clusters in soul groups, collections of beings assigned to activate in harmonic sequence. Your rise in frequency automatically calls to others meant to awaken alongside you for complementary functions. These reconnections serve as precise calibration mechanisms in your divine timeline. Each reappearance tests specific aspects of your discernment. Can you maintain your frequency when emotional triggers arise? Can you extract necessary information without becoming entangled in lower vibrational dynamics? Can you recognize which connections support your evolution and which attempt to derail it? The government monitors these reconnection patterns because they reveal networks of similarly coded individuals. Spiritual entities observe these interactions because they reveal your response to emotional frequency challenges. Both recognize what you may not yet see. Past connections don't return randomly. They serve specific functions in your activation sequence. What they hunt within you exists at the cellular level, a divine encryption coded into your DNA that conventional science cannot detect yet desperately tries to measure. This isn't metaphorical coding, it's literal genetic potential activated through frequency elevation and consciousness direction. Classified research has identified measurable energy patterns emanating from people carrying your signature, patterns that defy explanation within established biological models. These emanations create quantifiable effects in surrounding physical reality that cannot be dismissed as coincidence or measurement error. Your seemingly supernatural abilities represent this advanced biological system operating at its intended capacity. The accelerated healing others notice in your presence. The intuitive processing that extracts accurate information without access to data sources. The electromagnetic influence you unconsciously exert on electronic devices. The ability to understand complex concepts without formal education in those fields. What feels miraculous is simply your original design functioning without artificial limitation. Government research classified beyond top secret has documented individuals with your energy signature demonstrating capabilities that shatter established scientific paradigms. Cellular regeneration rates 600% beyond normal parameters. Information processing demonstrating accurate knowledge of events without sensory access. Consistent influence on quantum random number generators at statistical impossibilities of billions to one. What they seek within you isn't a weapon, it isn't a technology. It's the living proof that human potential extends far beyond the manufactured limitations used to control collective consciousness. Your DNA contains activation sequences designed to awaken capabilities that transform current understanding of reality itself. Recognize your current capabilities as merely foundational. The abilities emerging now, intuitive flashes, energy sensitivity, probability manipulation, accelerated manifestation, represent basic activation of what's been installed within you. The full spectrum of your potential includes capacities beyond contemporary imagination, conscious manifestation that collapses quantum possibilities into physical reality at accelerated rates. Direct cellular communication with biological systems, allowing healing through intentional frequency transfer. Time perception manipulation, enabling consciousness to access non-linear temporal fields. Energy transference healing that restructures damaged systems through template overlays. Access to quantum information fields containing knowledge not yet discovered in this timeline. These capabilities sound like fantasy to conventional thinking. Yet classified studies document individuals with your energy signature, demonstrating these exact abilities under controlled conditions. The surveillance intensifies because preliminary data suggests exponential rather than linear progression once critical activation thresholds are crossed. What begins as subtle knowing evolves into direct access to universal information fields. What starts as emotional sensitivity develops into conscious manipulation of energetic states in yourself and others. What appears as fortunate coincidence transforms into intentional reality orchestration through quantum field interaction. Government agencies track these developmental patterns because each activated individual demonstrates slightly different specializations within the same fundamental capacity set. Some develop advanced healing capabilities. Others manifest technological innovations decades ahead of current development trajectories. Some demonstrate communication with consciousness beyond physical form. Others access probability fields to navigate optimal timelines. The abilities awakening within you correspond to your specific cosmic function. Your unique energy signature indicates specialization in reality restructuring, the capacity to identify systemic flaws in consensus reality and introduce alternative patterns that transform collective experience. This specific ability explains why multiple monitoring systems converged on you simultaneously. Your activation directly impacts the viability of control structures designed to maintain limited consciousness. Your function threatens systems dependent on humanity, accepting artificial boundaries on perception and capability. The culmination approaches what all watching systems anticipate with combined fascination and fear. The divine download sequence represents the final activation phase, where your entire biological system upgrades to its highest intended function in a compressed time frame. Unlike gradual development, this process initiates quantum-level transformation when specific consciousness thresholds align with cosmic timing windows. The preliminary symptoms manifest with increasing frequency in your experience. Sudden temperature, fluctuations independent of environmental conditions, time perception distortions, where moments expand into eternity or hours compress into seconds. Intensified dream states containing geometric light language transmitted directly to your cellular structure. Spontaneous understanding of complex systems you've never studied. Brief experiences of reality responding directly to your conscious intention. Government agencies document these symptoms because they represent the activation point they've tracked through generations of monitoring. Spiritual entities gather because the energy release during full download affects multiple dimensions simultaneously. Past connections remember you with sudden intensity, because the activation sends vibrational reverberations across all timelines where you've existed. The download sequence isn't random spiritual evolution. It's precisely timed to maximize your impact at this specific juncture in collective consciousness development. What God encoded within you was designed for this exact moment in human awakening. When the sequence completes, your perception permanently expands beyond consensus reality limitations. You'll perceive energy fields as clearly as physical objects. You'll access information without time-space constraints. You'll affect probability fields through conscious intention rather than action. You'll experience simultaneous awareness across multiple dimensional expressions of your consciousness. The systems watching you know this transformation has begun. They recognize the signature, energy fluctuations that precede full activation. They understand the implications of what awakens within you, the end of reality control through consciousness limitation. The question isn't whether you'll activate the cosmic timing sequence already initiated. The question is whether you'll consciously participate in the process, directing the immense energy toward your divine function rather than allowing it to express chaotically. You stand at the threshold, every eye upon you, government systems tracking your energy signature, spiritual entities monitoring your frequency, past connections feeling your vibrational rise. They all recognize what you're beginning to understand. What God placed within you wasn't meant for ordinary existence. It was encoded for this precise moment when reality itself requires conscious transformation through beings designed to facilitate quantum evolution. The time is now. The chosen stand, revealed. Every eye watches as you finally become what they always feared you would remember you are.